Life is dull, it's nothing but one big lull. Then presto, you do a skull and find that you're reeling. She sighs and you're feeling like the toy on a string. And your heart goes ring-a-ding-ding, ring-a-ding-ding, ring-a-ding-ding.
Welcome, child. Took your sweet time getting here, didn't you? I've been waiting a good 5 years for an outsider to come along and visit.
Oh, I am deeply sorry for keeping you waiting, Mother. It's just that transportation isn't what it used to be. I mean, I would have preferred to simply walk up to your front gates and press the doorbell like a normal human being, but you guys had to go ahead and make it more complicated and painful than what it needed to be.
Those howitzers of ours aren't just for entertainment, child. Explosive ordnance is what keeps the savages at a distance. Except you. There's something special about you, child, and it was the howitzers that gave you a chance to show it.
And it was your idea of an emergency medical treatment that showed me how fortunate we are. I mean, considering how all your doctor offered were 2 shots of Med-X and 1 roll of bandages for us to share, I have to say, we are fucking humbled at your reception. How can we possibly repay you for your kindness?
Oh, so many ways. Small ones to begin with, so we can get used to what it's like to have a outsider around and about. Should that go well, maybe you can help in big ways, too. We'll have to see.
Oh, please, take your time and tell me everything. I want to know exactly how I can leave a mark on your society so that your people will remember us for the rest of time. Feel free to interpret my vagueness however you want to.
You have to keep in mind that you're our first contact with the outside world since I was barely a woman. Seclusion has kept us safe, but the world around us is changing. Neon lights in the distance, patrolling robots, soldiers. My youngers think our guns can keep out the world, but I think we need to let it in just a little, or become its victim. You're that little bit of the world, child. Welcome to Nellis.
Wow, you threw a curveball there, didn't you? First you blow me up multiple times, then you refuse to give me proper medical treatment, but now you go ahead and tell me I'm a VIP. You guys are determined to one-up the White Glove Society in the messed up category, I can already tell, and I can't wait to become a part of that.
You picked a good time to stop by, for we're swimming in problems. My youngers can tell you all about it. Raquel could use help with the bug problem. Doc Argyle has wounded he's tending to. And Loyal and Jack might be looking for help with some repairs. Or you could just go see Pete at the museum and hear the story of our people. All you have to do there is listen. Come and go as you like, help or don't help, I leave it up to you. But I hope you'll show my youngers that not every outsider needs to be blown up.
Well, Doc Argyle can go fuck himself for the aforementioned reasons.
I can take care of that robot problem for you. Just saying.
And you can fuck off too for totally different but equally legitimate reasons. Hey, excuse me, lady. I'm pretty sure your mother just mentioned something about ants. Are you gonna give me more info or not? Hey, can we please put aside the passive-aggressive attitude for just a minute here?
Mother Pearl's instructions are clear. You can move freely around Nellis, and artillery spotters have orders not to fire on you. These are extraordinary privileges. Don't abuse them.
And I wouldn't even consider that if it wasn't for you and your little gunners back there. Now I have an overwhelming urge to do some very bad things. For everyone's sake, let's hope I can control my urges. Now, what's the story with the ants? I'm assuming that's not an euphemism for some kind of embarrassing disease of the sexual nature.
Long story short, the power failed a few days ago because giant ants have tunneled into the generator room and set up a nest. I led a team down to exterminate them, but there were so many of them. We lost. 2 killed, 3 wounded. Personally, I think it's more than a savage can handle. But if you want to kill those ants and switch the power back on, feel free.
Actually, we would call that a pest control problem. You want to see actual problems? Wait until we come across Deathclaws. The best thing you can do against them is sitting in the corner and crying. And you thought we would get killed down there. I can see it written all over your empty face, bitch.
Don't get my hopes up.
Well, fuck you too.
One other thing. The ants must be eating gunpowder from the munitions down there, or something. They exploded when hit by a flamethrower. One of us was using a laser pistol. Same thing. Bullets seem okay, just don't hit the artillery shells. Loyal's been working on some kind of weapon to use against them. Maybe you should check with him.
Wait, you guys used flamethrowers in the munitions dump? Are you sure it was the ants that exploded? Holy shit, maybe we should just leave and wait for a few weeks. I get the feeling these guys will take care of themselves pretty soon. Next time anyone hears one massive explosion in this region, you'll know I'm right. This is ridiculous. Of all the people who could have taken the artillery cannons, it had to be a bunch of idiots who has no idea how to use them properly. I don't think Crocker knows the full story around here. I wouldn't want these guys on my side even if they offered to be. And of course, no one cared to give us a tour of the place. I can understand the need for secrecy, but then why give us free roaming privileges at all? We're just gonna end up trying every door until we find the people we're looking for or things that are worth stealing. Hey, you know I heard you, and you know I don't give a shit. Oh Christ, this place is occupied. Excuse us, kid, we're just gonna take some time to appreciate your shiny snow globe. Ha! You thought I was gonna take it right there, didn't you? Well, patience, my friend. Stealing something from right under the owner's nose is an art form as much as anything else. But I can't say the same about that wall painting there, but hey, we all have different tastes.
You're the outsider. Mother Pearl sent word that you'd be stopping by. You must be eager to hear the story of our people.
As eager as the next guy who got blown up by your people. So who are you supposed to be? The shortest historian in town, or just a kid paid to guard the room against people like me?
Me? I'm Pete, keeper of the story. I know I seem kind of young. I was the apprentice keeper of the story until a couple months ago. But old Keeper Don, well, whiskey and landmines don't go together.
No shit!
So it's up to me. I bet you want to know everything about us.
Sure, let's go with that. Pay no attention to anything else we might be doing in the meantime. Mother Pearl knows all about outsiders and how much we like taking other people's shit. You know anyone else I can steal from? I mean help with?
Gosh, there's a lot of folks. Argyle's our doctor. He could use help tending to any injured we got. Over at the workshop, Loyal and Jack are always building something. The Loyal may not be too happy to see your kind running around Nellis.
Oh, don't you talk to me about the fucking doctor. That guy does not give a shit about his job. Or maybe he just doesn't give a shit about us. But come on, where's the guy's professionalism? Anyway, you want to tell us a story or not?
Wonderful. I'm sure you've noticed the mural on the wall of this hut. Shall I tell you what it all means?
Actually, no. I'd rather you tell me about your future career ambitions. Just get on with your job, will ya?
Excellent. Imagine you're the first outsider to ever hear our tale.
Oh yes, I'm supposed to feel honored, aren't I? I don't, by the way, so I blame you for ruining this moment. Okay, what do we have here? Jesus, that is ugly.
Ages ago, long before I was born, we lived underground. Everyone had guns, but the overseer wouldn't let us explode anything, not even a hand grenade.
That's because he wasn't drunk, unlike your mentor.
We left and wandered the wastes. There were savages with knives. We blew them up with frag mines and grenades, burned them with flamethrowers. It was neat, but there was a downside. For every 43.6 savages we killed, we lost one of our own. We needed a new home. We needed Nellis.
Or you could have just stopped antagonizing everyone. And coming from me, that's saying something.
Here we have prospered and multiplied. Here our mighty guns destroy any savages who might try to harm us before they can even reach our gates. Well, until...
Yes?
But... Not saying you want to harm us or you're a savage, but anyways. Nellis has revealed many secrets. It has taught us how to fly the bombers once based here, and it has taught us where to find one.
Okay, now you're getting sinister. What the hell are you talking about?
And that is our story so far. For this last image is our future. To restore the bomber, to fly the open skies in armored safety, raining high explosive ordnance upon ignorant savages. This is our destiny. I'm pleased that you listened to the entire story. Perhaps there are details you'd like to know more about. Let me know.
Yeah, there are a few things, believe it or not.
Bye.
Like, how do I find this bomber and destroy it before you guys get your hands on it? You know, as much as I appreciate explosions, I don't want them to happen to me, from above, below, or wherever. And when you say you lost people for every 40-something savages you killed, did they get shot or did they get drunk one night and started playing tennis with a grenade? From what I can tell, I'd say both are equally possible.
What are you doing?
Just wanted to clarify a few things if you have the time, Professor.
Now that you know the story of our people, you must have all sorts of questions.
Yeah, first of all, you guys came from a vault, didn't you? And trust me, it wasn't the Pimp Boys or that story that gave it away. A typical Vault Dweller's attitude tend to stand out from a mile away.
So you know about the vaults? Yes, we lived in one of those. Ours was numbered 34. In our vault, everyone had guns, but the Overseer wouldn't let you fire off any of the really fun ones. I guess all the little pops and bangs at the firing ranges just got boring after a while.
Oh yes, because everyone knows that there's nothing dangerous about setting off explosions whilst in the underground shelter whatsoever. That Overseer was a coward, alright. You know what would have been better? Setting the generators to self-destruct. Now that would have been an explosion.
Exactly. We haven't detonated any atomic warheads since before I was born. But besides that, it's a heck with nitpicky restrictions. Anything else you want to know?
Yeah, such as why you don't know that the Vault generators were nuclear. Give me strength. The fact that you people not only found this place, but that it was also unoccupied is just another proof that God is a dick.
Several automatic warheads detonate here 100 years ago, leaving the base highly radioactive. The savages of the waste, ignoramuses, all avoided Nellis by habit.
Do you even understand half the words you're saying? You do realize that not everyone is lucky enough to have a Geiger counter built into their forearms, right?
That's exactly right. You're very knowledgeable for a Sav, an outsider. Anything else you want to know?
I know that's supposed to be a compliment, but coming from you, I'm not gonna think of it as one. I guess this is what happens when you grow up totally cut off from the outside world. I'm surprised you guys haven't died of scurvy and inbreeding yet.
Nellis is a completely self-sufficient community. We draw water from Lake Mead, solar arrays provide power, and we grow our own crops.
With enough beans for protein to supplement whatever cannibalism you guys get up to, right?
Indeed we do. Very impressive. Anything else you want to know?
I'm gonna assume you understood the sarcasm behind the cannibalism remark. I really shouldn't, but I want to hold on to some kind of faith for humanity. In any case, it still wouldn't solve the inbreeding problem. Here's a real question. Why would an Air Force base have cannons everywhere? Did someone fuck up the delivery address?
You're right. They weren't here when we discovered Nellis. We found the guns at a huge weapon depot called Area 2, many miles from here. It took many weeks to drag the guns and their ammunition back to Nellis, and it was the last time any of us set foot beyond our homeland.
And presumably you executed anyone who questioned why you didn't just set up home there instead of dragging everything here. Still, I have to give you guys credit. It would take both determination and stupidity to achieve all this.
Thank you so much. I'll be sure to pass that on. Anything else you want to know?
Yeah, you do just that. Honestly, why am I even worried about you guys getting a bomber? You probably just crash it within 2 minutes of takeoff. Here's a hint. Pre-war instruction manuals and comic books can only teach you so much. There's a reason they had human instructors back then.
Once we restore power, we learn that some elaborate chairs we've been sleeping in were actually virtual reality simulators. We believe they were used to train combat pilots. We use them extensively. I alone have shot down over 500 Chinese Zion 85 fighters. Before you ask, I'm afraid there's no way you can be allowed to use the simulators. They're for our use only. Sorry.
And now I'm worried again. Those simulators probably taught you just enough for you to take off, fly for a little bit, and drop off a dozen bombs before you crash straight into the Lucky 38. You're gonna be at the mercy of turbulence, rusty controls, and the raw power of the open air. Did the simulator capture all of that?
That's beautiful. Yes, it's exactly like that. So free, so... words can't do it justice. Anything else you want to know?
Oh, I want to know plenty, but I'm not sure you're the one who can answer them. I feel like I should just speak to this loyal guy directly. I'd like to know where he found the information about this bomber, and if possible, how we can cultivate this hallucinogen for the mass market.
Loyal found a file somewhere on the base, with magazine articles, photographs, a map even. It seems that a bomber, apparently the 29th of its kind, crashed in Lake Mead on July 21st, 1948. Just imagine, that's over 300 years ago. The photograph shows that it was basically intact, and the map tells us exactly where to find it. Except we haven't left Nellis in decades.
Whoa, let me get this straight. Not only did this bomber crash, but it's been underwater this whole time? Well then, I guess all you need to do is float the damn thing and it'll be airworthy immediately. I can't see how it could possibly go wrong.
Yes. In fact, that's exactly what Loyal has planned to do. You should go talk to him. I wish everyone were just as interested in our story as you are. Maybe I should act out the battles, or learn how to throw my voice.
Or you can try and learn how to tell when someone's mocking you. That one in particular is gonna be quite useful when you're dealing with me, I can tell you that much.
Bye.
Yeah, I guess that really is all I need to know about you guys. Ambitious with no self-awareness whatsoever. In that case, you'll fit in with the NCR nicely. Crocker is gonna be one happy bureaucrat when I tell him about this. Believe it or not, but I actually want to help them with that bomber. If they really think getting that thing out of the water is all they need to do, then reality needs to give them a nice backhand right across the face. Watching that thing crashing straight into the ground is gonna be a lot more effective than anything I can say, that's for sure.
A bunch of shut-ins who scorn outsiders and hold technology over them. Gee, where have I heard that one before?
Yeah, you guys should definitely hold a meeting together and see who accuses the other of being bigots and heathens first. I'm betting they'll declare war on each other before the day is done. Power armor versus big explosions. Let the battle commence. We can even sell tickets and hold betting rings. Now that'll be a spectacle.
Once a Republican, always a Republican.
Okay.
I hope Pearl knows what she's doing, letting you wander around Nellis as you please.
Based on what I've seen so far, I don't think she does. Luckily for you guys, I'm not looking to sabotage anything. I think you have that part nailed down already. Now, I'm just gonna help you long enough to see how spectacular the inevitable crash is gonna be.
If that's so, how about you look into repairing the solar arrays on the roof of the generator building? Nothing too complicated about it, but it's a long ways to walk my old bones, and there's been that ant problem over near there. You can't miss the array. It's on top of the generator building smack dab in the middle of Nellis, between the two runways.
Solar arrays? You mean the same ones that supposedly make you self-sufficient? And now you need an outsider to repair them? Please tell me you can see the irony here. The last time we did anything with solar arrays, it was at Helios 1, so you're in good hands at least.
Are you talking about that damn bright light we've seen blast off to the south occasionally? I was wondering what the hell that was. If they've got the parts, bring them on back. We need to get the array back up and charging.
Are you serious? Have you seen the size of those things? Look, as impressive as it was for you guys to drag artillery pieces across the desert, we're gonna label that kind of option as a last resort, if you don't mind. I'm not even getting paid for this. Unless, of course, you're willing to let us try out those simulators.
No, those aren't for outsiders to use. Leave them alone.
Well, in that case, I won't be able to guarantee the quality of my work, if you know what I mean.
Well, if you genuinely care so much, they're flight simulators. If you don't know our history yet, you should see Pete and get the tour. We dream to one day rule the skies.
Keep living in the clouds, buddy. It wouldn't surprise me if these simulators you speak of are just elaborate bets where you pretend to fly a plane whilst going meow. If that thing is coin-operated, then you'll know for sure. Here's a tip. Stick with things that you can actually touch. Speaking of which, are you the one with the gizmo for the ant problem?
I started building a sonic emitter that might do the trick, but it's useless without knowing the exact frequency that would kill the ants.
Whoa, you don't know what that is yet? For God's sake, you guys are useless. Look, I didn't exactly have much faith in this weapon of yours in the first place, especially since we have actual guns that can actually kill things. Just give me the damn thing and I'll try it out. The worst that can happen is that it doesn't work and we do things the old-fashioned way.
If you're willing to take the risk, be my guest. I've got it set to broadcast a powerful signal at 24,000 hertz. Just place it near their nest and cross your fingers. Signal's too high for people to hear, so no harm done. But it might make you feel sick to your stomach.
And it's not gonna set off the explosives, right? Yeah. That was exactly the right moment to just walk away. Well played, sir. I still can't figure out if these guys are insane or just incompetent. I guess they're still alive and this place isn't just one massive crater yet, so they deserve some credit. But then again, that's hardly difficult. You only need passing knowledge of explosives to know not to poke them with a stick. Those things are dangerous. Well, there goes two more people. I bet we know more about explosives between us than most of these guys put together.
Dynamite's for when you don't have enough bullets. Want to clear a pass or scare off geckos from a caravan.
Honestly, I just use them to blow up people. But hey, I'm an amateur compared to you.
Some of Twister's out of the divide can block off a pass in no time. So you learn how to handle powder so you don't get trapped somewhere.
While I'm sure all of that is true, I get the feeling these guys are messing around with something a little bit more powerful than that. Also, remind me to stay the fuck away from that divide place. It sounds rough.
Any event, I prefer shooting if it comes down to an argument. Don't worry, I'll carry my weight if a disagreement arises.
Oh, I think you already proved yourself at the Silver Rush, and I would not have appreciated dynamite in such a confined space. But I will appreciate you. any day of the week.
What?
Oh, baby. Look at the size of that barrel.
Oh.
If I had my way, we'll be solving every problem with this thing. Oh yeah, we would be solving them so thoroughly, you wouldn't even know there were any problems in the first place. You don't need to clean up the mess when there's literally nothing left of the problem. And feel free to replace the word problem with anyone you happen to hate, apart from me, obviously. You can't solve a problem like me that easily. So, I guess this is where the magic happens. Well, the magic has seen better days, I can tell that much. I know it's a miracle these things are still standing, but I don't think we should rely on that for the rest of time. Hell, some spit and polish would be better than nothing at this point. I swear to God, if one of these things fall on top of me, then you can bet your ass someone's getting sued. I'm not gonna need law enforcement to get my compensation either. We have our own guns for that. The lawsuit would just be a formality to make the whole thing look a lot more legit than it is. Man, look at these things. They're accidents waiting to happen. I'm pretty sure a child has been crushed by one of these things before. And listen to that fizzing. Yeah, these things are thoroughly wrecked. I'm pretty sure that's a technical term. Well, this looks like a job for someone who actually knows what the hell they're doing. Someone who's not going to get electrocuted within 5 minutes of getting the hammers out. I think we all know who I'm talking about.
Darn it.
Oh, stop moaning. Eddie can help you. Wow, everyone feels like bitching today. Look, I know getting here hasn't exactly been a smooth ride, but at least we still have all of our limbs firmly attached to our body. Well, more or less. Point is, I would happily do it myself, except one wrong move on my part and the whole base gets a power cut. Would you like to be the one to explain to the guys and gals with heavy artillery why the magic suddenly stopped? I didn't think so. Now stop complaining and show us what you can do. Little miss, I've been taking things apart and putting them back together since before I said my first word. Yeah, that's right, I don't forget shit. The rest of you are coming with me. We have a slightly less qualification-intensive job. Remember, we're dealing with explosives.
Let's start this.
Once again, we're dealing with explosives. Please don't make us look like actual savages. We'll never hear the last of it. At least try to avoid shooting at the artillery rounds. Well, I guess we won't need to worry about doors. Rex can open them for us. Isn't cybernetics great? Everyone should get their dog the opposable thumbs upgrade. They'll love you for it. It sounds like Veronica is getting experimental up there. So where are these ants I've heard so much about?
Can't run from me.
Well, they can't actually run if they're not here, so you might not need to worry about that.
Someone's looking to cash their chips early.
Again, save the one-liners until we actually find the enemy. That's like rule number 1 in the Book of Clichés. I know, I read that book religiously. Okay, seriously, where are they? Don't tell me we're lucky enough for the problem to solve itself for once. I know that can't be the case because it's not snowing outside. Maybe they really did move on to greener pastures. I can't imagine gunpowder being that nutritious or tasty. Come on, Rex, you're supposed to be good at finding things, right? Use your metal nose. Yep, spoke way too soon. Problems don't just disappear. If anything, they're gonna hide around the corner and jump out when you least expect. Like a wild predator looking to bite your balls off.
From me.
Well, I can do that too. Not the second part, obviously. I'm not that desperate yet. Well, hello. Oh, wow, Rex. Calm down, boy. You are pent up. I know, I get frustrated too sometimes. And like you, I tend to lash out when I need to let off some steam. We have a lot in common, you and I. Granted, I don't usually attack ants, but... Oh, hey, this is new. Yeah, I have more refined ways of venting frustration. Not saying that using your teeth is ineffective. I know people who will testify the contrary. Holy shit, this is an assault rifle with a scope. Oh baby, where have you been all my life? No, seriously, where were you when I needed you back in Freeside? Or out of Vegas? Or hell, back when I got ambushed by Benny and his thugs? Fuck you, God, you could have been generous earlier.
And then the fight started.
Ah, yes.
Eat this.
Let's not use the catwalks to our advantage. Not when we can fight them mano a mano with a lawnmower blade and a rusty knife. I don't know who you two are trying to impress here, cause I just think you're being stupid. Well, go on then. Jump down there. I dare you.
Target reacquired.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
You're just in time for your ass whooping.
Now, granted, I can't actually see them from up here, but unlike you, I'm gonna fight them mano a mano through the scope of my rifle. I think that's fair. I mean, they could have brought guns with them, but clearly they didn't think ahead. Okay, seriously, I think that woman over-exaggerated the problem just a tiny bit too much.
All mine.
Oh, spoke too soon again! Fuck!
All mine.
Man, how are they so good at hiding when they're that big? Oh. Jesus, Rex, you work fast. Good job. Oh, yeah, seriously? Come on! I should have known. If Lady Luck gives me a new weapon, then of course it's gonna be a faulty one. That's the least she can do to screw me over right now. Jeez! But on the other hand, I have a cyber dog. I think I know which one I prefer. Okay, I think this is a good time to deploy the weapon, experimental or not. Worst case scenario, it sets off the explosives. That's a hell of a way to go. Satan would approve. Alright, you oversized bugs, feel the fucking music. Okay, never mind, that is not music. Not in the traditional sense anyway. And do you hear that? That is the sound of exploding ants. That's music enough for me, and I'm a Philistine when it comes to art. Alright, it's time we kick this generator back into action. But first, let's secure this very dangerous grenade launcher for our own personal use. Okay, now how do I switch this on? Come on, open, damn it. Open!
Staying low.
Oh shit! Yeah, that didn't make me crap myself. What made you think that?